Hi Flosstube friends, it's Liliana from I'll Be Stitching Forever. Today is June the 10th and I just want to dive in and share my fully finished cross-stitch pillow. Let me walk through my process with you of how I made the pillow, because I want to give some encouragement to those of you out there who have not yet turned any of your cross-stitch projects into pillows. I highly recommend that you do. At least give it a try if you have not tried. You can try it by hand, although I do recommend a sewing machine. I did my first 2 pillows ever by hand, stitching it by hand. It's fine, but it is time consuming. So if you don't want to spend too much time hand sewing, get yourself a sewing machine if you don't have one. I don't have actual footage of my process. I didn't record, but I did take photos. So I'll post it here on the screen, some of my photos, as I talk about my process through making this little guy. He is so adorable. I'm happy with the finished product. And so I went looking in my box of fabrics that I have, and I found this one that I've used before already on a previous pillow that I made, and I found this one as well, and then the one on the back here. This one and this one came together in a bundle that I bought off of Hobby Lobby, and I thought it would go good together. And then I've got some lace that I've also found in my stash, and rickrack. Okay, so I'm going to show, like I said, photos up on the screen. So the first one is, I'm trying to figure out if this is it. Is this going to be what I want? The 2 fabrics on each side, and then the lace over the green fabric. And I thought, yep, that's looking good. I like it. So I chose to do that. And so then the question came up, should I sew the ribbon here, the lace, on top of the green fabric or underneath it? I'm glad I chose to do it on top because I think it came out fine. I hope you cannot hear the garbage truck, but he's like right outside my house. Okay, anyway, so I went ahead and stitched it up, and first with just the green fabric, I went ahead and sewed the lace on it and then put it aside. And then I grabbed this side and this side, and I put it front face down over like this, right? And sewed the sides. After I got all the measuring done and all that stuff out of the way, I did that and sewed it on. So that's the next photo. You see that I've sewed on each piece, and this back here is what I need to do next. But before doing that, I already had interfacing on the back of my design. That was already done. So I had to do the fabric pieces. So I got that done. And let me tell you, this interfacing that I used, that I bought off of Amazon, it didn't stick as well as I had hoped. Initially it did, it stuck, but it sure takes a lot of heat to get it to stick. If you guys use an interfacing that works really well for you, I hope that you would let me know what brand and where I can buy it, because I'm looking for a different interface. And then I started to line everything up. so that I could sew the back to the front panel. After doing that, I put my clips on all the way around, made sure my measurements were correct, all the same. And I used some clips, some sewing clips, and I used paper clips. And the reason why is these fabric clips, it actually comes from my mom's sewing kit that I took sometime later after she passed. I looked through her sewing kit, and she had a lot of the things that I would need to help me on my sewing machine journey, because I had never had a sewing machine before. And so yeah, that helped, but she only had 4. So I just got out my paper clips and I used those, and it worked fine. And speaking of my sewing machine, I was going to tell you right at the beginning, but well, I can still, well, okay, I'll just tell you now. I bought a sewing machine at the beginning of the year, and this is the one that I chose from Amazon. It's a small one. You can use it, it's very portable. You can use it with the electrical cords, or you can use the battery. I've not used it with battery yet. I haven't had to. I don't think I'm going to be taking it anywhere with me. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So I'm probably never going to use it with batteries. But anyway, it only costs around $50, and that is not bad if you want to try out, you know, sewing on a machine, with a machine, because I had never done it before and I didn't know if I was going to like it or not, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money for a really good machine if I just didn't take to it. So this worked out fine, and I'm going to put the link in the show notes below in case you guys are interested. I'll get a small kickback if you guys go through the link, but you don't have to go through the link. You can just look it up on Amazon. You can look at the different types, because they have lots of different machines on Amazon, a lot to choose from. But I'm glad I went with this one because the customer service was great. I had a problem with my first machine. It was exactly like this one, but there was a problem with the reverse function. So I told them about it, and they sent a new one right out that very day. They sent it out. So I was very impressed with their customer service. And I sewed it all the way around, but I left a little opening, a 3-inch opening right here at the bottom of my cross stitch piece. And it was a little hard, but going slowly and gently with it, I was able to do it. After a little bit of inverting, it got easier, so it can be done. I was thinking, oh my gosh, after I did that, I'm like, 3 inches only? That's what some creators do, is just about 3 inches. And yeah, it worked. It worked. It took time, but it worked. Okay, so I went ahead and I stitched all around. So here's problem 1. Okay, in the next photo, you will see that the side of where the sunflowers are doesn't look perfectly straight, okay? Like that side. It's not perfectly straight. However, you cannot tell very much after it's been stuffed. It just looks like it's, you know, it's a pillow. It's lumpy, right? Pillows are lumpy. And let's see if you can tell from the back. A little bit. But anyway, I sewed a little bit crooked, okay? So about, I don't know, I was off track about 9 millimeters, like a half of a dime. That's about how much I was off. So it's not that bad. And once I sewed that end, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, oh no, it's crooked. Do I want to frog it? And if I frog it, how am I going to fix that? How am I going to, you know? I decided I'm going to leave it and just see what happens, right? After I stuff it, if it looked really bad, I would do something about it. I would go back and fix it. But anyway, I left it alone because I really did think it wasn't going to show. It wasn't going to be very noticeable. And I was right. It's not very noticeable at all. So the corners, I did a 90-degree angle. That was planned. And when it came to stuffing, it was not easy to get the polyfill over in the corners. I have a chopstick that I use to poke through there to try and get as much of the polyfill into the corners, but I couldn't. But then after I stuffed and stuffed and stuffed, and I'm looking at the front and I'm thinking, this looks cute. I actually like it. It gives it character, so I like it. I'm keeping it. I'm not going to fix that. It's fine. So, yeah. And I know there's some people who like the blunt, rounded corners, and I like that too. That's fine. But I really, really like this. So I hope I can recreate this in the future to make it like this. We'll see. So anyway, then the second problem. It wasn't an error or anything like that, but I just cannot get down the invincible stitch. It is just, for some reason, it's hard for me. I can't align it properly. I can't, you know, you're supposed to take a little bit of the fabric on the inside and then go straight across to the other side, take a little bit of fabric and just keep going back and forth like that, right? Just keep going like that. And I did, but at the end of doing that, it just didn't look right. So, and I tried ironing it first to make that crisp edge that I've seen others do on their how-to videos. So I did do that. Still, it did not work for me. I was still not getting it looking good. So I decided to use, I was going to use a rickrack anyway because I've been wanting to try rickrack on my pillows. So there it is. I covered it up with a rickrack and I went all the way around, you know, just hitting the very top, very low points, right, of the rickrack, up, down, and just putting one little stitch across each pointed hill, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, so it came out fine. And looking at my photo here, did I show you, did I put up the photo of how big, how small that 3-inch opening was? Small. It was small, so I had to get all this inverted out, and yeah, but it worked. That is my finished pillow that I'm really happy with. I hope you guys enjoyed this little short video. I want to encourage those of you who have not yet turned your cross-stitch piece into a pillow. If you've never done it and you feel intimidated, I know how you feel because I was very intimidated to do it also. And even though I did my first 2 by hand, and it did turn out fine. I was very intimidated with the sewing machine. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but I'm so glad I tried it, because I also, this just fits my purpose. I don't think I'm even going to buy another sewing machine, at least not right now, because what I use it for is for the pillows that I make. I also use it for little girl hair bows, and for stitching around my cross stitch fabrics to keep it from fraying. So that's it. I think that's it. If I get into something major like quilting, which I highly doubt, although I love to watch videos with quilting, I still haven't gotten that desire to go learn how to do that. That'll be another time-consuming hobby that would definitely take some time to learn. But anyway, right now I'm happy with what I'm doing, and that's that. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful, fabulous stitching week ahead of you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.